Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of QRA Live with me, Jimmy Yin, your host, aka the AcuSensei. I am going to get the technology set up and we will get started. So while I am doing that, let's... Okay, got the chat. Perfect. I think I got the live chat going. And, oops. So while I'm doing that, making sure all the tech is set up, start typing in what you need help with, what you would like me to share, QRA. All right, Joanna, you are on point. Histamine intolerance. Okay. We will go ahead. Um, I need to give a disclaimer because of YouTube, otherwise I will get banned from YouTube. Everything that I'm going to share with you, you should not implement until you talk with your physician. That is my legal responsibility. Do I trust that? No, I don't. But that's what you need to do, is what you say. Okay, so she's already got two things going on, and I'm gonna jump in. I only got 20 minutes, so I'm gonna jump in. As you jump in, just type into the chat what you need help with. I'm gonna share some QRA, also some information on what we do, how to go about to treating it in the sense of how do we find the root cause, how to restore the function of the dysfunctioning organ, because that's always the root cause, and so that you have a long-term sustainable results, not short-term results, not um, getting results only when you pop a pill. Okay, perfect. So, Joanna, let's go. Histamine intolerance. Actually, in your second gut health, it actually is very similar to to your gut health. So I'll start the root cause. Well, one of the root causes could be your gut health. The reason why you have histamine intolerance is because your immune system is out of whack. Your immune system is not identifying. It's even identifying foods with that are histamine producing, sort of, as something negative, and therefore it is like going haywire over it. So really to fix it is to balance your immune system. And if we balance your immune system, we have to look at how do we do that? It's not taking antihistamines because antihistamines only address the histamine part. They don't address why your body's freaking out because of the histamine. Um, whether you get the flushing, you get the itching, the rhinitis, right? Um, why? So what organs specifically address your immune system and is causing you to react to histamine? The main organ I've shared before is your gut. So the balance of your bacteria in your intestines, we have so-called good bacteria, we have bad bacteria. The balance of those two bacteria determines part of your immune system. And you've probably all also heard of this new term called leaky gut. Leaky gut is where things in your intestines leak out of your intestines, they get into your bloodstream. That is a potential cause of your histamine intolerance, okay? And also your poor gut health. So now we focus on the intestines. So the balance of the good and bad bacteria determine the health of your intestines, obviously, but also your immune system. The good bacteria should be always elevated more than your bad bacteria. This is good balance. Okay, balance in the gut health, gut uh, bacteria is not this. If you have the same amount of good bacteria versus bad bacteria, this is not balance. This is balance. Good bacteria has to be up, bad bacteria has to be lower. Why? Because the good bacteria help your body suppress this bad bacteria keeping this bad bacteria from overgrowing. When the bad bacteria overgrows, it causes inflammation, which in the intestinal lining, which causes cracks. Eventually, the intestinal lining gets cracked open, right? Inflammation. That crack open is what gives you that leaky gut. Okay. So now we've backtracked to, okay, now it's inflammation in the gut. It's, not eating enough good bacteria. So that's one part is, are you eating enough good bacteria? Yes, you can pop pills with good bacteria. That does help, but you just need to make sure that if you take a supplement for good bacteria, aka probiotics, if you're taking a supplement for probiotics, you got it. Here's something you need to write down. So everybody that's tuning in, this is how you take probiotics. Okay. There is no single probiotic supplement that is universally great for everybody. Even if it's good for you right now, it won't be good for you if you continue to take it. So write this down. When you take a probiotic, you should never take it 2 months in a row. So usually the probiotic bottle, if you take a supplement, it gives you 30 days, which is a month. That's 30 days of quantity in the probiotics. Do not buy those big, like we have Costco, Sam's, these big Walmart supercenters here, and they sell these big jugs of supplements. Don't ever buy that. None of those. Okay. They're just plastic. I don't think they will hurt you, but they're not helping you. So you get a 30-day supplement of probiotics, take it, and then go and buy. You can buy from the same brand, but make sure you look at the label, make sure the bacteria on that label, right? Go buy a second bottle that is completely different types of bacteria. Do not take the same bacteria month after month after month. You will disrupt your gut health, you will disrupt your immune system, and you will make your histamine intolerance even worse. Okay. So this is about feeding good bacteria. So coming back for those of y'all just joining in, we are trying to get our good bacteria high and are higher than our bad bacteria. This is called balance of bacteria in your intestines. Okay. Good bacteria has to be higher. So every month you have to switch. Make sure you read the label. I would start with the same company that you're using right now. Find different types of bacteria and take 1 month of it and then switch to another. Okay. After you've gone through one company's probiotics, then switch companies, right? Switch companies unless you know for sure that company is third-party tested. Every company, every supplement company is going to tell you their supplements are best quality. Don't listen to them. The only way you will know if they're best quality are they third-party tested. Okay. So that's how you boost up your good bacteria, your probiotics. Now, how do you make sure that you don't generate inflammation in your intestines? Because remember, inflammation is what causes your intestinal wall to crack open. And when it cracks open, that's when you have leaky gut. That's when you start developing histamine intolerance. That's when you start developing autoimmune disease, right? Because think about it. Poop is in your intestines, like literally, poop is in your intestines, but let's say your intestinal wall cracks open and some of that poop seeps out. But some of that poop seeps out into your intestines, right? Ooey, that's just think about it. It just sounds nasty, right? And so if that gets into your intestines, what is your immune system going to do? It's going to go send troops into your bloodstream and try to kill that poop, right? This bad bacteria. Um, and then over time, that your immune cells are just going to keep on attacking your blood vessels, and therefore you get autoimmune disease. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move on, Joanna. Hopefully that helps. We're getting some more topics, so I just want to make sure I get everybody's topics in. Did your headache points and it helped me first thing this morning. Thank you. Awesome, Joanna. Phenomenal. Thank you for sharing. I love to hear that. All of my QRA, quick restorative acupressure, they're the exact places where our clinic will do our QRA, quick restorative acupuncture. So if you're able to come to our clinic, those would be the areas where we would put the acupuncture pins, and it would immediately reduce the symptom. So I'm just telling you use your finger instead of needles. Good morning, Dolores. Thank you for joining again. Love it. Okay, and Lily, thank you, Lily. High blood pressure. Okay, high blood pressure. Okay, depends on what is the cause of your high blood pressure. One thing that I would suggest is measure your blood pressure. So get a blood pressure cuff. Doesn't matter if it's a wrist or if it's an arm blood pressure cuff, just stick with the same one and start tracking. Okay. So one of the ways to help diagnose, or not diagnose, but to, I would say, find the root cause of your high blood pressure is by taking your blood pressure. Now you're going to take your blood pressure twice a day. Some physicians, some cardiologists will tell you if your blood pressure is above 200 over 100, they will probably tell you to take it 3 times or multiple times a day. But at minimum, you need to take it twice a day to determine your root cause. Okay. So what's the first time? First thing you, first thing you wake up in the morning, like when you wake up in the morning, slap that blood pressure cuff on. Just slap it on. Okay. You can write that down. And then when you are about to go in, you're about to go to bed at night, take your blood pressure again, right before you're going to bed. Why will that help you with finding the root cause? Because if your blood pressure is higher, so you're trying to determine which part of the day, in the beginning of the day or the end of the day, is your blood pressure the worst. That will give you a clue as to which organs or what is the cause, the root cause of your high blood pressure. So if most people think, okay, that the stress, the evening one, the blood pressure you take before you go to bed should be the highest, right? Most people think that, but that's not always the case. Actually, if you have chronic hypertension, high blood pressure, I have seen, and my team has seen in our clinic, that the morning blood pressure is the worst. Okay. So what does it mean when the morning blood pressure is the worst? The morning blood pressure, think about it, is signifying that your sleep quality sucks. You're stressed out. Okay, throughout you're stressed out even during your sleep. So that would trigger, because let's think about it. When you're sleeping, you're supposed to be relaxed. When you're relaxed, your blood vessels are supposed to open up. They're supposed to relax. That should decrease your blood pressure. So when you wake up in the morning, your morning blood pressure should be the lowest. Now, if it's highest, that means your blood pressure, your blood vessels are not able to relax when you're sleeping. They're like, like that. So they're super tight. And that's why your blood pressure is high in the morning. Now, what causes that, right? The adrenal glands, cortisol. Your body's secreting cortisol while you sleep. Cortisol is a hormone, a stress hormone. That's why I say you're stressed out when you're sleeping. It's a stress hormone that is secreted in response to stress. So you maybe have lots of nightmares. You may, your sleeping habits are not good. Right? That's going to stress your body out. If you're not sleeping, when should you sleep? You should sleep. Everybody's body, regardless of what the people tell you, research, oh, everybody's body is different. Yes, everybody's body is different. But we were all born, you know, from a little cell, and then we develop, right? Now, our bodies technically were made to go to bed between 9 and 11, right? And we are technically our body's supposed to rise between 5 to 7. Now, why that range? Because our bodies are supposed to function according to the sun. Whether you believe that, what do you believe, whether you believe we evolved from monkeys, like evolution, or maybe, you believe that God created this earth, doesn't matter what you believe. Our bodies should naturally wake up when the sun rises. Our bodies should naturally get tired when the sun sets, right? That is why our bodies are programmed to sleep between 9 and 11 and then wake up at 5 to 7. Okay. So let me show you some points because I'm running out of time and I think we got a couple more topics. Okay. So taking your blood pressure before and after, right? That tells you, let me finish with the evening. If your blood pressure is higher in the evening, that means during the day, you are stressed out, right? That's why. If your blood pressure is high in the morning, you're stressed out when you sleep. You need to work on your sleep quality. You need to work on what is causing, disrupting your sleep quality. During the day, you need to work on why your body is reactive, so reactive to stress. Kind of like Joanna was reactive to histamine, you may be reactive to stress, right? So you got to figure that out. Now, blood pressure, high blood pressure points, there's a good one, okay? There is a good one. So if you look at your arm, the side of your arm, the deltoid is this muscle right here. The deltoid is this muscle on your shoulder, top of your shoulder, right? And so you can see like right deltoid right here. So right here, you see where that indentation, I'm flexing purposely so you can see that indentation. You can kind of see the indentions right here, right? Right here on the shoulder and the triceps. It's about right here. This point right here, you can almost draw a line down the center of your upper arm, okay? Right here. This point, this line, not this point, this line, you want to find the most tender spots. So sorry about my farmer's tan. I play tennis, so I have a farmer's tan. So you want to draw a line all the way down the center of this arm. And going down, you want to find the most tender spots. The tender spots, this line directly can move blood to your heart, okay? And it can help improve your heart's function, but it can also help improve your heart's ability to your heart's ability to relax the blood vessels, right? To lower the blood pressure. So you can go both arms just down the center, okay? So find the center down here. You can even go up to the deltoid, but not so much. Usually you want to start here and go down, all the way down to your elbow. Draw a line in the center, okay? So that will help move blood to your heart, and your heart help relax your blood vessels, okay? All right, one last, I got 3 minutes. I got one last more topic. Lily, you have a hypothyroidism. If you go back to my previous QRA live, even the past 2 weeks, I've talked a lot about hypothyroid, so you can go check that out. Joanna, for my sister, inflammation. Inflammation where, Joanna? Can you be more specific? Because type into the chat, what inflammation of what, right? Because if you're talking about whole body inflammation, she should just follow what I just shared with you. Because if you have leaky gut, that can cause inflammation everywhere in the body. Because again, remember, your intestines leak out, the poop gets out of your intestines and it goes into the bloodstream. Where does your blood circulate? Your blood circulates everywhere in the body, right? And so poop can go everywhere in your body and it can cause inflammation everywhere. Uh, but eventually, the worst parts, if you have leaky gut, joints. Okay, yeah. I was about to say that. I'm reading your mind. Eventually, the worst parts are the joints, and also specifically your fingers, your hands, and your toes and your feet, because those are areas where the blood vessels, they go from this big of an opening and they get to this tiny opening. And so if poop gets stuck there, right, it causes inflammation. It can also cause things like gout, arthritis, right? So specifically in the joints, it depends on, if your sister's overweight, and like if they're in the knees, the joints in the knees, or just any joints, like rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is caused by leaky gut, one of the causes, right? Because the leaky gut causes the autoimmune, like I just previously explained. All right. So how do you seal that leaky gut? Well, you first seal it, right? Stop doing things that are causing the inflammation. So when you eat processed foods are not just like McDonald's, Burger King, Subway. Those are not just the only processed foods. The processed foods that people don't realize is the ones they're taking home. So when you buy food from the grocery, if it's already prepared and processed, right? That's processed food as well, right? So so make sure you don't bring those foods home, because the biggest root cause of leaky gut is what we put in our mouth. Medications also include that. There are medications that cause inflammation, right? You'll be surprised if you're taking a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory pill. If you're taking a pill for inflammation, you'll be surprised. Look at the side effects. Check the side effects. You can go online. You can go on to any of those, Mayo Clinic, WebMD, drugs.com, and they'll tell you their side effect is the same thing they're treating. So they're being used to decrease inflammation, let's say from joints, but they cause joint inflammation. Okay. I just think that's kind of funny. Okay, but what joints, if you've got joint pain, okay, here's a QRA, right? Yeah, Tylenol, same thing. Here's a QRA to address, to move blood to all the joints in your body. Use your hands. The power's in your hands. Look at how many joints we have in our fingers, right? We've got this joint, this joint. So what I want you to do is you can do, I actually did a QRA reel about this, is you can just ring your joints, right? Ring your joints, every joint in your finger. So start with your thumb. You got your joint right here. You're going to ring it, right? Or you can use pressing. You can just press it, press all around the joints. So flex it and press it, flex it, press it. And then you got this big joint down here, right? But you can go through every single finger joint, see? Here, here, right? And then this one. And you just want to press all around. It's going to be tender. Press all around. So before your sister gets out of bed, she should be doing this. It's almost like a hand massage. If she has a spouse, get her spouse to do it for her, okay? But if not, you can just have her ring. I just go like twist her joints. I'm just going like this. I'm not actually twisting my finger. I'm just twisting around the joints so I can massage all around. This is QRA. QRA joints. You massage joints to help joints. This is QRA, okay? So I'm going to go through every single joint, every finger on both hands. It might take her 10 minutes to do it, right? Don't do it fast, do it slow, right? I would say 10 seconds on each joint, 10 seconds on each joint. Again, you can press 10 seconds on each joint, 10 seconds on each joint, right? And then flex and then press, flex and then press, and then go to the other hand, flex and then press, flex and then press. This, because the whole body is imaged on your hand, all of these little joints right here, they image every joint in your body. So if you get every single finger, you will get every single joint in your body. So tell her to spend 10 minutes to do this every morning before she gets out of bed. And she can also do it every evening when she is about to lay down to sleep. In bed, do the same thing, right? Tell her to do this for 1 week and report back and let me know. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Thank you for being on time and jumping in. I think Joanna, you're in Australia, right? I think I remember you. I think you're in Australia. If you are, thank you. Thank you for joining in all the way from Australia, if that's the case. Next week, guys, I apologize. I am going to be heading to Germany to visit my sister and her family, and my whole family is going to be there. So I will not be doing this QRA at 8 a.m. Okay, I won't be doing it at 8 a.m. Sunday. I need to figure out the time zone of when I'm going to do it, but make sure you are subscribed and you're tuned in. Oh, Joanna's from Canada. Sorry, Joanna. Sorry. But still, thanks for joining from Canada. Um, stay attention. I will do a reel. I'll make an announcement, a video announcement on YouTube about when's next week's QRA. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in, and look out for my announcement for next week. Is the time change.